I saw videos of you competing, obviously, when you were at Cobra Kai.
Another single leg as well.
What do you feel about the gi thing, man?
I still love the gi personally, man. I still love it a lot. I always felt like I never wanted to be a black belt that was good in no gi and then shitty in the gi, or vice versa.
I've had Dave, obviously Jerry, a bunch of Kevin, a bunch of people that went to Cobra Kai. What is it about that place? Dude, everyone loves it. They love Simgo.
I think it's like it's such a like historical, like Cobra Kai is such a big piece of like Vegas history in the MMA scene. I don't know, it's just like Cobra Kai was just like the OG gym thing. But yeah, Cobra Kai, it's definitely very blessed and grateful that I got to like start there and be a part of that.
Do you think like the relationship thing is a big one?
My last relationship I was going through all that while dealing with a breakup, so I was just all over the fucking place.
Just like replacing one to another.
It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare going through that, you know? So I finally, like that, it's been nice not, when that breakup subsides, that feeling of, okay, fuck, that's gone.
It's like an exhale.
Fuck, dude, it's such a weight off your shoulder. If you want to go and have a drink and hang out with your friends, by all means, go ahead.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have fun, you know? It's just not what I want to do.
All right, we got Coach Shane in the house. Dude, we're going to kick this off very, very strong, man. What's the difference? I'm sure people are thinking the same thing. What's the difference to you personally about you and your brother Jerry's game?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I mean, specifically. Let's get to like a master class. Yeah.
I think off the rip, people can see, I feel like I'm more of like a pressure, heavy, stay on top, grind. Jerry's more of the tire you out, jump around. You know what I mean? He's all over you, all on your back, monkey kind of style. You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel like I'm definitely more like the pressure pass.
Yeah.
Smash, heavy on top.
People could kind of tell that with like the head and arm that you do. And I could kind of tell. But the thing is that doesn't tell the whole story, because when you're in the practice room, and it might just be in the practice room because in competition, you need your A game, right? And I'm pretty sure, like you just said, that's your A game. But then you're pretty fucking mobile. You roll like your brother. I mean, that's probably the obvious. But can you get into that like a little bit more?
I think people underestimate my, I don't want to say technical abilities, but I feel like I am more of the pressure powerhouse kind of grappler that I think people they only see, especially when I'm competing and I have my A game, my head and arms, and just like that hard style of pressure passing that I don't really show. And this is my fault for not really kind of showing that in competition, that I can move like Jerry and I can play that small guy game, which I feel like it helped me a lot when I was like 215, back when I was lifting heavy and I was a brown belt and I was doing American Nationals and I was competing at heavyweight. I feel like I did really good against those guys because I had a small guy game. You know, I was kind of moving like Jerry. So yeah, so I feel like I got to do a better job about going out there and kind of displaying that, you know. But it's tough, like you said, when you go out there, you just want to get to your A game. And
you revert to it because it's in your human nature.
It's just it's your default.
So let's get back to the specifics, man. When you roll with your brother, how do you approach rolling with him? Like, say if you're about to go on competition, because I've seen like the last podcast, I've seen those killer looks in your eyes. Okay, well I'm gonna, you know, not that you're gonna hurt anyone. I'm like, oh shit, this guy's in competition. I can't fucking do this, man.
I'm not wrong with him.
Yeah. But when you say, that's a good insight actually. When you get in that mode, and then say, and I don't even know how true this is, but then do you and Jerry give each other like the business? Are you guys going, hey, let's go because we have to simulate the competition, like ADCC or something?
There is times, especially if I'm in camp, like Jerry's obviously one of my best training partners aside from being my coach. There's not too many. We do have our tough rounds. I would say most of the time, because we're coaching, it's tough for us to kind of get like rounds with each other when they're that hard. Obviously, you see we do our first warm-up round. Obviously, it's always me and Jerry to get warm. But we have so many, like we had to coach so many people, and there's so many people that we have to roll with. So sometimes it's tough to kind of like, okay, let's get a round just for us, you know, which I feel like we need to do it more because me and Jerry, we don't have those rounds where we're just kind of like, go.
Yeah.
You know, we do sometimes, but it's not like 100%, let's try to murder each other.
Do you think it's because you guys are brothers and it's like kind of awkward? You know what I mean? Like,
I see what you're saying. Yes and no, because we know each other's games so well, you know, and it's weird. I still feel he just has like he's my big brother, so it's like I never want to like go past that point. He just still is my older brother.
I don't want to make you. I don't want to make you feel bad, bro.
Then yeah, it's not piss him off too, man.
I know. Just like So who do you go with anyone to prepare yourself that hard in jiu-jitsu, or is it just kind of like, man, I'll go with anyone. I'm just gonna play my A game.
Yeah, I think there's certain guys I can like pick up the intensity with, where they don't feel like I'm being a dick. Like Zach is like one of my wrestling coaches.
Yeah.
Me and him can go, and it can get to the point where we're snapping each other's heads, we're collar tying hard, and it's a rough round. But certain people, I don't feel like I can, just because I don't want to put a bad taste in their mouth, and then sometimes with me too, I don't like to get to that point where I feel like there has to be a medium where you guys are training hard, but then when it gets to that point where you guys are like slapping each other's head, right? Then it turns into like, well, okay, now we're like slapping, and it's like, okay, I don't want
like Cade Tutorial, like
yeah. Now we're just beating the shit out of each other, you know. So I don't want it to ever get to that point, you know. Because then if the coach is doing that, you just kind of look like an asshole, you know.
This is probably a personal question for myself, but then is it more of, because when you roll with, say, mixed martial arts guys that actually compete, right? They do this for a living. There's something different about them. They're more aggressive. And I think that's obviously a default because they have to be like that.
Right.
They don't mean to necessarily, but then they're grabbing you a lot harder.
Yeah. It's
and
what they know.
It's what they know.
Especially if you come from like an MMA background where you started in doing MMA first rather than jiu-jitsu. Like if you start doing jiu-jitsu, you have kind of more of like a flowy type game rather than coming straight from MMA where you're just, you know, everything's tough.
What do you think about that? What's your philosophy on, do you think that in, say in jiu-jitsu terms, do you think that's a good way to go about jiu-jitsu? Is there one style that culturally you'd want them to be like more flowy because it's more friendly and then you get more people at the gym? Because that's kind of what sells people. What's going on, guys? If you're enjoying this podcast, please don't forget to like the videos and subscribe to the channel. Only if you're getting value out of it on YouTube and also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to leave a rating and follow. And also, I also write a blog newsletter from what I learned from my incredible guests that I have on. So sign up for the email list and get updates on the podcast. Thank you for your love and support. Now back to the show.
Right? Yeah.
It's like, the culture, the
environment. Yeah. And we recently just had someone, you bring up a good point. We recently had someone come in and they were like, you know, I'm older, obviously, I'm a black belt, but I don't want to go to a gym where it's like I'm trying to get murdered by a bunch of different young killers, you know. He's like, I came to Syndicate, and he's like, I didn't even try any other gym because I came here and the culture, everyone was super cool. No one was trying to murder you. Obviously, if you want those hard rounds, you could find them. We got a bunch of people on the map, but he was just like, damn, it's cool that I could come here and the culture and not get murdered and
right.
You know what I mean? So
I think
it was cool to hear that.
Yeah, what sets the tone, I told Jerry this, is that you guys have a way, it's not, okay, Jerry teaches really well, right? He's the one that speaks the most. How he articulates the moves, but then it's I think it's more than that. It's a lot of nonverbals from where I'm sitting. Like, you guys are fucking funny as fuck without being funny.
Yeah.
In the best ways, because you have that dynamic. Sometimes you'll make fun of people, but then in just like the most jabbiest kind of like, hey, you know, we don't mean it. We're just like laughing at each other.
Or showing technique. Jerry's like busting my balls. Like, you know, he'll talk about my guard, or if you got a shitty guard like Shane or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he'll put it like
digs like that.
Like the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really good, like, almost to, if we want to talk business wise, like a selling point. Not that you guys are trying to do it for that, but it's a good dynamic between you and the brother. It's like, I think that's why people compliment you. Yeah, it may be a little bit of the saddest thing, like, oh, Jerry and Shane, but then the way you guys react to each other, it's just fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like a new age young fun. It's not like an old school, when you go to those old school, like, you know, Brazil, and they're pretty funny themselves. Like, they got their old style, but then it's like older jokes. Okay, that was pretty smart. But,
right. More dad jokes, kind of thing.
More dad jokes. Yeah, man. Dude, you ramped up your coaching quite a bit ever since we started, you know, talking from the last time. What is that about, man? Did you like kind of volunteer for that, or was that something that maybe John Wood was like, hey, man, I want you to take a bigger part? Because I know you were coaching before. but then now you're really, really in there. You're in there like in the pro team. Not that you weren't again before, but you ramped it up 100 pretty much.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Like, so I obviously I love coaching. I'm when we talk about Jerry, how great of a coach he is, he loves to do it, right? So I feel like I've just kind of found my niche where it's been fun for me to coach a lot more. And not that I'm like taking a step back from competition, because I still like I want to compete and I still want to obviously, have my personal goals, but the coaching side of it, taking more part and just like kind of realizing I have a lot to offer, as a coach. Like I have.
Can you be more specific on that? Yeah, like
just like my jiu-jitsu knowledge. Like even though I know Jerry's it's our program. Obviously, Jerry's more of the head coach. He's more of the speaker. And I feel like a lot of that is because he's my coach too. So all the stuff you're seeing from Jerry, it's like you're gonna see the same thing from me. We have obviously different little here and there things, but I made it a point that even though it's like not big things that are different, I still can bring a lot of value in those little details that I have, or just little things like that. You know what I mean? So I took initiative to just kind of dive in and then be more present as a coaching figure for one, help out more, not just kind of, I feel like there's a point where I was there to coach, but I also was there to obviously get my training in. So I kind of had to dial that back, and like a lot more I've been, rolling with newer people and, just trying to help out more. New guys come in, I'm kind of giving up my training sessions a little bit to help out more. So yeah, just taking the initiative to kind of dive in. And John has been, everyone's been telling me for a while, like, dude, you can be a great coach. Like we know you have it in. You're kind of like the dark horse of the coaching staff, man. Like you can be a great damn coach, dude. You got to believe it.
Right.
You just have to believe it. So,
and you're immersed in it. That's why I asked you.
Yeah.
What are some specifics from now, since you're in it, that you've learned in coaching? The methodology or even technique? What's like the biggest game changer you think that you're excelling at right now?
I think just the presence on the mat, being more of a coaching figure, being more loud and just being more, just a presence.
Was that hard for you? I'm curious about that because, you got these like pro fighters, right? I mean, I'm seeing it subjectively.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, there's a guy from Russia that's doing sambo, right? Like that post that we saw. There's Khalil over there, just chilling. And there's just other high level profiles, as we know. What's the boundary on that, man? I know that you're like a head figure now. Technically, you are as a coach, right? Yeah. I mean, you deserve the title. Yeah. Did you feel awkward? It's almost because I used to coach in San Diego too, like in Muay Thai. And at times I'd feel awkward in quote unquote telling people what to do, but I don't think it's telling people what to do. It's coaching.
Right. It's just coaching.
Right.
100%.
Yeah, can you get more in nuance with that?
Yeah. So I'm glad you bring that up because when I first started coaching, not even when I first started coaching, up until recently, I felt like people would come in or different pro fighters would come in and I'd be like, damn, like I know I'm very good at jiu-jitsu. I've been doing this for a long time, but I'm like, they've been doing fighting for a while. They've been obviously training for a long time. It's like, you kind of like lose confidence a little bit and like, what do I really have to show them they probably haven't seen before? So it's like a confidence thing. You're like, damn, I don't know if I should open my mouth because what am I going to bring value to, or even just like some striking things. Like I know I'm more of a jiu-jitsu guy, but I've been fighting for a long time. I've been around the MMA game. So it's like, sometimes I'll be like, I don't know if I should open my mouth about striking because they're not going to want to listen anyway. Cause they're just Coach Shane's a jiu-jitsu guy.
Interesting.
He's a jiu-jitsu coach, but
have you heard, I mean, you don't have to say any names. Have you heard that around? Is that something that it's kind of, or is it in your head?
I think that's just in my head, which is crazy. I've never heard anyone like, yo, I don't like think you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to striking.
For the most part, people listen.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is like what I'm realizing now is like, damn, people they listen. If I just talk and open my mouth and be a presence, they're going to listen.
Yeah.
No matter who it is, Marab, Khalil, anyone at a high level, they're going to listen if I open my mouth.
Right. Yeah. Do you think that has a lot to do with like, say, John Wood's authority and teaching? Like they know that you're getting taught. Why do you think that is? Like about you? I know that jiu-jitsu for sure. Wrestling too, because you did wrestle in high school.
Yeah.
Grappling, let's just say in general. But what other factors do you think make people listen? Maybe not just even you, just in general from your experience. But then how do you kind of make, not even make, but how do you get someone's respect in order for you to be like, okay, let's do this, right? And they're not just in their head being, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, like we're back in high school or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it comes down, like I said, to just like being there, like a presence, and just keep like continuously being there. You know, if you're kind of showing up half an ass and like, you know, maybe you show up a couple times a week to pro practice, I don't feel like they're gonna like take you too much. Whether you're talking about whether I'm great at jiu-jitsu or not, it's like if you're not there all the time and you're not a constant presence and a figure in their life where they're seeing you every day, I don't think they're gonna listen at all. You know, but I feel like you being there every day, you showing up, showing that you care. You know,
that's
you
a
do
great
know
one.
what you're talking about.
Yeah,
you know, maybe they're sparring and you're throwing out some techniques, you're throwing out some combos, and it's like, oh shit, that's landing. Oh, maybe he doesn't know what he's talking about. You know, so little things like that. But yeah, I just think being a presence and showing up and being there for them is, because fighters are a lot, man. They're children. Like you got to hold their hand. You got to be there for them, to hold their hand through fucking everything. You know what I mean? And I was a fighter, and I know this coming personal experience. I want my hand held. I'm a fucking baby when I'm in camp. I want everything done for me. You know, like
Like, tell me what to do. Tell me the roadmap to how to like win. Pretty much. Yeah, dude, that's a great point. What I just heard you say was the trust. The more that you're there, man, that actually was like a mind fuck a little bit, because I didn't even think about that, which is the most obvious. That's why I ask these questions, because the more that you're there, we were just talking about it before the podcast, the more they see you, the more they're like, oh, he's committed.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so crazy, man. What do you, to be transparent, what do you dislike about coaching? What's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you're enjoying the show so far. I hope that you're getting a lot of value out of it. Just a quick announcement. I started a YouTube and Patreon membership for you Speakeasy Squad listeners out there. So for YouTube, just click down below to join. And also for Patreon, I'll post a link down below so that you could join for you Spotify and Apple podcast listeners out there. What you get is behind the scene footage and early access to podcasts, some pictures, photos, and whatever behind the scenes shoots that we do. So click the links down below, and all the proceeds, actually all of it, goes into this podcast. So to enhance productions, to get bigger guests on, all of it. So thank you for your love and support. And now back to the show. Would you say, like, what's your biggest peeve, I guess, when it comes to maybe coaching fighters or, even coaching jiu-jitsu?
I think naturally, shit, man. I think me being, it's kind of shitty. Me coming from like an addiction personality, I'm very selfish, which I've been trying to work on.
Yeah.
Being a coach, you got to be very selfless. Right? You got to give everything away.
Interesting.
So I feel like that's a little tough. I still want to be selfish with me sometimes.
Yeah.
And with my time, and like, I don't want to do this forever, and I want to go lift. You know, I don't want to coach right now. I want to train. So it's really being selfless. I'm like, I got to put my shit to the side. I feel like that's the toughest thing with me. And I'm learning about, it's just how much time you got to give away for other people.
It's more of like it's almost like a commitment kind of thing, right?
For sure.
Like, yes, you're committed, but then you're committed to training too. So I guess it is true where they said sacrifices have to be made.
Yeah. And then finding that balance. That's like another thing that's tough, is finding that balance of coaching, but still wanting to compete and be a competitor, and but it's good. I bet it's been fun. Coaching it's been fun, man. In
the long run, as far as we'll stick to the coaching and then we'll move on. In the long run, where do you see yourself? Given that you said that you're trying to find the balance between training, right, and coaching. I know you're knee deep into it right now, but say like 5 years from now, where do you see yourself? Coaching, training, still competing. Like, what's the ultimate? Maybe not the ultimate. 5 years is not that very long, to be honest. But then, what's the goal within like a 5-year plan?
Man, I think a 5-year for sure is.
Yeah. What do you envision?
I definitely want to be in the UFC BJJ. That's like one of my goals, is to be an athlete on there.
Good one. Yeah.
So that's in the 5-year plan, is to get on one of those and make some noise, and then just be more. I feel like known as an MMA coach. I feel like that'd be cool. I feel like we're kind of known, me and Jerry, like jiu-jitsu coaches, but I feel like it'd be cool to be like, oh shit, he's not just an MMA coach, or not just a jiu-jitsu coach. He's really diving into MMA and, making some noise on the MMA scene, and,
When you mention, like UFC, BJJ, and that's a great point, because I forgot about it. Like, I didn't think about it. And then you're an MMA coach now. You used to do MMA and still do. high level BJJ coach at one of the most prominent gyms that we go to. Have you ever started thinking about like, I mean, I guess we're all brands, right? Have you thought about like going into just media and then just, you know, showing off all those skills? Because technically that's what you're accumulating. You're so diverse.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like you, and then when you make it to the UFC BJJ stage, man, like that's like not the final nail, but that's a nail in a coffin right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Do you have any aspirations to be not an influencer, man? I hate that word.
No, but no, yeah. I feel like it's in this day and age, I feel like it's so stupid not to be like immersed in social media and building your media.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I just have to do a better job at it.
Like the commitment.
But then
you do so much and stuff, right?
You know, it's just finding the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But if you want something, you'll find the time.
That's very true, man. Yeah, that's very true. And you know, we were just talking with my video guy, Chris. All you really have to do when you're coaching, and I know it feels weird, you know, sometimes with people, and I know there's discretions involved. Like, yeah, you can't be filming them when they're sparring, right? You know, but then if it was casual, say if you were just hitting pads, like you do, and I've seen some videos, but then, you know, we were just talking about it with Chris. Just turn on a camera and then post it. Right. That's literally all you have to do.
Yeah,
you're doing it anyway, which is crazy
for sure.
Yeah. Let's get into some BJJ tips, man. You know, the last time that people were talking about this podcast, that what people find hilarious is that, you know, there's people that claim, I don't know if your view has changed on this or if it still happens, but then there's this claim of like, you know, does this still happen actually, first of all, where girlfriends come in, they videotape their boyfriends, and then, you know, you're kind of giving them the business, green lighting them a little bit. What's your thoughts on that? Like, now I know it's still like a pretty big topic. Yeah. I've seen something like that on Instagram recently.
I personally, it doesn't bug me. I feel like it's just like how you go about it. You know, if you come to the gym and you're super nice and you're like, hey man, I'm just trying to get some footage. Like,
yeah, right.
Girl's filming.
Sure.
I'm not being a douche. Like, is it all right if I film? Zero wrong. Nothing wrong with that. But then it's the guys that come in and they're like, little douchey, not so much training experience. First round, they're going hard as fuck, and then the girl's on the side filming, you know? So now it's just like your girl's filming. I clearly see your intentions. You're trying to fuck up this dude on camera. You know? Yeah,
interesting.
Now you get greenlit. Now we're going to give you some footage if you want some footage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, man. Do you take that into your own hands? Obviously, you're not hurting them, but you probably, you know, mother breast milk them.
Oh, for sure. I'm giving them some... Yep.
You're giving them that sweat.
Yeah.
That Shane Vanilla Gorilla sweat.
Oh, yeah. 100%. You're getting waterboarded.
You're getting waterboarded. Damn,
I might wink at your girl while I'm doing it.
Yeah. Exactly, man. Getting interrogated over here, bro. That's so funny, man. Yeah, that'd be hilarious if, like, you know, they did that in Guantanamo Bay. It's like, hey, send Shane in over here, man. Let's send let's send that mercenary over here.
Yeah.
It's like put your titties on their face and shit. But so just like Jerry, man, I'm sure a lot of people want to hear your perspective. You know, can you give me a rundown on? I'm sure you've probably thought about this from time to time. You've been asked, you know, over and over, but for the people out there, man, what should people be doing when they first start, like in white belt, without being too obvious? Like, you know, without like the obvious, like, well, you're gonna get smashed in like 6 months. What's something proactive they can do when it's like your first year? Let's just say
first year.
Yeah,
I would say
if you had to go back.
If I had to go back, I would go back and probably work on my defense. I would probably go back.
That's a good one.
Be bulletproof from every damn position, man.
Do you mean you'd get yourself? Well, you kind of have no choice, almost. You know,
exactly. You're almost working that anyway.
Yeah.
But to really put it in my head, like, okay, if I can go back, I would really focus on the bad positions and try to work from there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if it's like you got to focus on getting off of the back, escaping a hook for a couple weeks straight. You're just focused solely on that. That's better than just coming in and be like, all right, I'm gonna roll and I'm gonna wing it. Try to get better. You know, at least you have some purpose when you're coming in and working on something. You know? So I would say for sure, if you're coming in new, try to. At the same time, it's so tough because when you're coming into jiu-jitsu, you don't know anything. You're just like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. You know, what is this sport? We're just trying to kill each other. You're trying to explain what a guard is, and they're like, that means nothing to me right now. You know, all I can focus on is getting choked and I can't breathe.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Getting mother milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say defense.
Yeah. You know what's funny about that? It's obviously counterintuitive because when you're a white belt, like anything else, you feel the need to kind of, right? That's why they call them the spazies, right? You feel the need to be an offense. And it's really hard to give and even implement that advice to someone. Like, say if you had a beginner and you just told me what you told me, the guy in his head is probably, he'll listen, right? You're the coach.
Right.
And then when he does, he's just going to try to pass his guard because they want to be on offense. They're trying to one up.
Right.
Not that, and it's not their fault. I think it's just human nature.
For sure.
Like with every sport, you play basketball, you're going to try to go at it and not work at defense.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Because you don't want to feel vulnerable.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially when that's all you know.
Right. Exactly.
You know? And it's crazy too when people come in and it's like, I'm sure Jerry has talked about this before. When you come in, you're a lot tougher when you start jiu-jitsu because you like don't know anything. So you're just like tense and you're like tough and you're just like, you know?
Yes.
But when you start implementing technique, you feel like you get a lot shittier because you're like, I'm actually trying to do jiu-jitsu now. I'm not using as much strength. I'm not using like my attributes. I got to really do technique. Now it feels like I'm getting worse.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So I feel like, yeah, it's good. It's to really focus on the defensive techniques and things like that. Like that goes such a long way when you're new.
Right.
You know, such a long, just focusing, like I said, and just the tech. I know everyone, like you said, if you don't know it, you don't know. Right. All I know is to go hard.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. You don't know what you don't know.
Right.
It's like we can tell them, but then their autonomic system will just be like, well, their body's just gonna go.
Right.
Especially when someone's trying to grab them and choke them.
Especially when you're like, hey, you tell a new guy flow. What the fuck is flow? I don't know how to flow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have no concept of like how to flow, give, take position.
Yeah, it's like what's flow? Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah. Especially me. I mean, who am I to give advice? But that's literally all I said. I think I've said this before is that I literally don't go around giving advice. I just say breathe.
Breathe. Yeah, right.
Just breathe, dude.
Breathe, relax.
It's all right. Yeah.
Same thing as striking though, right? Someone comes in and you're like, they're just coming in and they're so tense. Everything they throw feels like a bomb. You're like, dude, just relax, you know? But they don't know how. It's just like, I don't know how to relax.
Yeah.
You know?
With, man, I have so many questions on that. But especially for me because I do strike. And honestly, that's like my first love. I fucking love it, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I dare say this, but then probably more than jiu-jitsu because it's so dynamic.
Yeah.
And I noticed that it's vice versa. A lot of quote unquote like jiu-jitsu people and then vice versa, a lot of quote unquote Muay Thai people, right? They're like two separate categories, at least in my world and what I see.
Right.
And then there's MMA, which is its own sport now, right? Mixed martial arts. People from Muay Thai don't want to do jiu-jitsu and people from jiu-jitsu don't want to do Muay Thai. And I think that's the cause of that is, and we'll get back to like, the blue belt, purple belt. I'm aware that, people want to learn that. But man, I have to ask this before I forget. But then why do you think that is? I say that with the Muay Thai people, and this is just subjective, it's no offense to anyone, but then I honestly think that being around Muay Thai people, they have a lot bigger egos because of the hard hitting Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
You grow up watching those people and then you want to knock. So it's about the knockout highlights where jiu-jitsu is like, it took some time to catch it. It's catching on big time now, right? But then it's kind of slow a little bit depending on the match.
It's way more fun to see someone get knocked out.
Exactly.
Way more fun to see someone stand up and bang it out.
Do you think what's your philosophy on that? Do you think that's what's going on? Do you think that it's definitely ego driven because we're all kind of egotistical in our own way.
Yeah.
But then why do you think, let's start off with this. Why do you think like jiu-jitsu quote unquote nerds don't like to go to Muay Thai? There's a big like divergence.
I think it comes down to the coach, man. Because I feel like I've done Muay Thai classes where I'm like, I don't really want to do this class anymore because of the coach.
Very fucking true.
But then if it's like the coach is dope and if it's like, I've done like Conway's class or like trauma or Dom, like if it's like a fun class.
Yes.
It's like, dude, I want to come back. You're making it fun. Same with jiu-jitsu. It's like if you come over and me and Jerry are teaching, like you're going to have have fun.
Exactly.
It's not going to be this class where it's just like, fuck, dude, this sucks. I'm just getting fucked up. Like you're coming to train with the boy. The environment's good. The vibes are good. I feel like that plays a big part is like who the coach is.
That's a big one, man. It's
who
culture.
the coach is and how the culture is. And I feel like more jiu-jitsu guys gave Muay Thai a chance or like even at the gym, like we did each other's classes. Like, I don't know. I feel like the culture would be better. Like, cause that gym is already so like family oriented, like we do obviously have our separate jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, but most of the people in each, like they all kind of coincide. We all like, So I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it comes down to the coaches and
knowing you guys now for about like, I've been coming there for 6 years, right? Taking your classes. And what I told Jerry on here was that his evolution in his coaching as a student, right? I'm very observant when it comes down to that. At first he was just like kind of fun and games, and then he switched it up to like being serious. Now he's finding like his like balance, which is like interesting to see.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's like evolving. And then he told me in particular that he's not so hard on when people come in late because people have lives. He's more empathetic that people have shit to do.
Right.
But then if you're just a slacker and it happens all the time, it's like, all right, dude, like, do your fucking burpees and, all that. But that's evolution.
Yeah.
The reason why I bring that up, dude, I'm glad that you brought that up because about the coaching is even CT, Conway, when he'd sub for like, say, Chris, right? Dude, he just has more of a like, are you guys understanding what I'm saying? And I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so because people are like forced to pay attention.
Right.
Like this guy ain't fucking around, bro.
No.
You know what I mean? He's not just all games.
No, you're going to listen.
I love that, dude.
Yeah. And some people like they like that because they appreciate that coaching style more where it's like, all right, I need that. Like, hey, you're going to do this. You're fucking up this, do this. You know, like they need that more tougher. Other people need like, hey, you're doing a great job.
Right.
Just do this a little bit better.
That's true.
You know? So everyone's kind of different in that coaching style, which I'm learning.
Yeah. What would you say is yours? Like as of this point, what's your like balance? Are you more of like, hey, a good job? Because I always said that whenever I coach, we talked about, the online kickboxing stuff. I don't blow smoke up people's ass. Because you want to get them good. But I'm also, if they do a great job, then it's like, give them their flowers.
For sure.
Yeah. What would you say?
I think I'm kind of balanced. Like I feel like I do good with, I don't want to be bullshitted. Like, let me know what I'm fucking up.
Yeah, right.
But don't rip me apart. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't know.
What's one thing that you see that like someone does? Do people get lazy? Like, can you tell people like, sometimes don't want to be there, or are they all in like for the most part, working hard? And
I feel like if you show up to the gym, I feel like if you could at least get there, you get in your car and you drive to the gym, you have a discipline enough to get there. It means you want to be there.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? I can give you that point. At least you're showing up, you want to be there. Now, what you do after that, you can show up and you can have you could think you're practicing good, but you could show up, do one round and say, oh, I went to practice today, but you didn't really practice.
Like intentionally.
Lazy. Yeah. Like, it's like that practice makes perfect. No, good practice makes perfect.
Right.
Perfect practice makes perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's just all your intentions. But yeah, I definitely see like, even just like when we have our nights, like Friday nights where we got all rounds, and I see people sitting out, I'm like, man, why are you sitting out right now? You should be like, grab someone just as tired and fucking roll.
Yeah.
You don't have to go with someone that's fresh and a killer. Grab someone just tired and keep that pace going.
Man.
That's how you're going to build that cardio, and that's how you're going to not sit out future rounds.
What do you do about that, man? Because I honestly think, and this is probably the obvious, it's mindset based.
Yeah.
Because your body could fucking go, right? It could go, but then why do you think that is? Is it, of course, like the ego, you don't want to get tapped and all that? Yeah.
I think it's, I don't think people like rolling when they're dead tired and like they're going to be put in a bad position. They're going to feel shitty,
Yeah.
I don't think people like that.
And then people,
especially if you're new to jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Where you just want to roll when you feel good.
Dude, and then they're in their cars thinking about it. They're all disappointed in themselves.
Right. And then
like
they wonder why they never get better. They're never advancing.
That's a hard truth,
It's just, it sucks, man. Yeah, it's a hard truth.
Damn. Yeah, I know, man. And unless you're able to face that, you're going to stay fucking stagnant.
For sure. And then you have the people, like if you tell them, hey, you're fucking up, then it's like, well, now coach is kind of being a bully. When it's like, yeah, I'm not trying to be a bully. I'm just trying to tell you. You want the truth or not? Do you want to get better? Or do you want to fucking stay sucking? You know, like that's the hard truth, right? Like, some people got to hear it, but some people don't want to hear it.
I know.
And they just stay stuck. And
dude,
it's like,
there's this times, and I don't want to sound like I'm justifying, right? But then the way I do things, right? Like as far as this and all that stuff, I'm pretty like punctual when it comes to it, right? I'll ask you guys, is it okay? And and I'm very respectful in that aspect.
Yeah.
But then going back to the rounds, oh man, I feel like shit if I ever sit out. You know what I mean? Like even if
I feel like you just know personally deep down, like fuck, dude, I kind of bitched out.
Exactly, man.
I bitched out a little.
I don't know if I could stand that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could. Not to say that I've done it once or twice,
For sure. No, we all have.
But then not to say that I'll get a drink of water and then sip my water 30 seconds longer. But then I still feel like a bitch doing that. And then going back to the mat, if someone's just like standing or sitting, I'll
let's
come
go.
in. I'll be like, all right, it's 2 minutes 30 seconds.
Yeah. At least I'll get this the end of the round. At least I'll do the end of the round.
Maybe it's like, and then if you're Jerry, go up to me. I'll be like, technically, I didn't sit out. You know what I mean? I'm just getting some water, man.
Yeah, dude, just get a long water break, dude.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah. So, let's go back to what about let's go blue to purple, because I know blue belts, and rarely I know that gi, we kind of cut the classes pretty much. I know you guys still do it, from time to time and in particular days. First of all, what do you feel about that, man? I know that when I first started, I saw videos of you competing, obviously when you were at Cobra Kai and in the gi. What do you feel about the gi thing, man? Like how they took it out? Do you still enjoy the gi?
I still love the gi personally, man. I still love it a lot. I always felt like I never wanted to be a black belt that was good in no gi and then shitty in the gi, or vice versa.
Yeah.
But I understand that times are changing and no gi's it's popping right now, especially being at an MMA gym. We're not really gi heavy, But personally, like I said, I never wanted to be a black belt that couldn't do both, So it kind of, when we do promotions, it's just like it kind of, not that it sucks, but I'm just like, damn, like I want everyone's game to be well-rounded in everything. I don't want one of our students to go to another gi gym and they're getting fucked up,
Right,
damn,
right.
dude, like, especially us coming from gi. Like we just always did both. And we always had maybe it's, and I think once we get this expansion, hopefully with the gym and everything, we'll be able to have more classes. And then maybe we can do like gi and no gi every day, which would be
right.
cool, because that's what we had coming up at Cobra Kai. We had gi and no gi every day. So it was just, when you were there, you trained both. It just, you were there training, you might as well do both. You know what I mean? So that's how we just came up.
I know we both go to Syndicate. You're one of the main coaches there. How I've had Dave, obviously Jerry, a bunch of Kevin, a bunch of people that went to Cobra Kai. What is it about that place, dude? Everyone loves it. They love Sim Go.
Yeah, Sim's
right.
the man.
Like, can you talk about your experience over there? Like with the gi, since you said you train no gi and gi over there. What makes that place so special, man? Because everyone talks about it. Everyone has their own perspective. They like Sim Go, or they just like the environment. Whatever it may be for you.
I think it's it's such a like historical, like Cobra Kai is such a big piece of like Vegas history in the MMA scene. It's just a cool, I don't know. It's just like Cobra Kai was just like the OG gym. So there's just like a lot of history with that. And I love Cobra Kai, man. Sometimes it sucks, man. I always want to go back, especially like Sim obviously gave me my black belt. Like I went from white to black. I was Sim's first white to black under him, I do. I miss going over there, man. It sucks. I just don't have the time, obviously, with coaching and everything. But yeah, Cobra Kai, it's definitely very blessed and grateful that I got to like start there and be a part of that.
Right.
Like that such a like, I feel like historical kind of.
That crew.
Yeah, just that old crew, man, was just different, dude.
Man, you miss it?
Just different. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
But a lot of, like you said, a lot of things change. And when we were there, it was a very heavy competition based. We had a lot of fighters, which when kind of Lehman left, I feel like it kind of went from MMA and Jiu-Jitsu to just kind of straight Jiu-Jitsu. So
Mark Lehman, right?
Yeah, kind of went away from the MMA part, So things change, but yeah, Cobra Kai, I miss that place, man.
Yeah, interesting.
That place
man.
raised me.
Yeah, I keep going off on like a tangent. What about on blue belt? what about blue belt? What should people be doing? Because who said it? Someone last time on the podcast said this is that like 99. This is probably obvious statistic, but 99% of the people quit at white belt.
Yep.
And I think even more so in blue because it's such a grind. Because a lot of people, they still have that external validation of getting the belts. And that's what's making them quit, to be honest with you.
Right,
it's kind of like,
100%.
wait, what? How long?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Right. Fuck this, dude. I don't want to wait that long.
What should you be focusing on, man? I know it's a very general question. You probably get to ask that a lot. It's probably a boring ass question, but what is what's your theology on that, man?
That's a good question. I think when you hit blue belt, you already have a developed game, whether it's top or bottom. So I think the next part for that purple is if you have a good top game, then you got to start developing a bottom game. If you got a good bottom game, start developing a top game. And I think once you kind of have a good mixture of both, then that's when that purple belt level kind of starts to shine through a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think a well-rounded game. But if I was a blue belt, like for me personally, like when I got my blue, I was a very like top dominant because I wrestled.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember Jerry telling, okay, now you got to start like getting a guard going. So I started playing like first thing was like butterfly. Then butterfly leaned into
And then the
X
Undertaker
guard.
double leg.
Then the Undertaker double leg.
Where you can just go
lay
around.
it out, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of, building slowly from the bottom. And then, just working on that.
What is your goals now as far as like jiu-jitsu? Where do you, I mean, I know you said UFC, BJJ. How are you going to get there? What do you need to do? Is it, because that is a lot of exposure, you being a coach at Syndicate, right? Obviously the coach of the head, like a BJJ program. Right. And then is it just the network? This is more a masterclass for me too.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel, obviously I'm 3-0 with the UFC. The invitationals.
That's what I'm wondering. That's why I asked the question. Do they randomly hit you up? What do you got to do for that?
I know one time they hit me up and I couldn't, the weight that they had, one time I couldn't make the weight, which was my fault. I think I gave them, I like let them know kind of too late, hey, the weight's going to be tough. So I think after that, they were like, well, I don't know if we want to like call them back, because they haven't hit me up since then.
Interesting. You think they're like kind of,
I don't know if they like, I don't know if we could trust this guy.
I see.
Which is shitty, which is why I kind of like, I'm glad my weight's low. That way, if like, damn, if they needed someone, I feel like I would be ready to go,
Sure, yeah.
But, I don't know. I feel like that's what I've been trying to like, just do these the ADCCs, at least trying to make some noise on the local scene.
Sure. Yeah.
That way they see like, hey, fuck, he's competing. Let's get him back on.
Man.
Because I feel like I feel like I deserve it. 3-0.
Sure.
Like
exactly.
Give me another chance. You know what I mean? If I fuck up again, all right, cut me off. But at least give me one more chance.
What was the weight cut on that? Out of curiosity.
I don't know. It was. It might have been like 50s or 60s, but I was like 80 at the time.
Yeah.
It was just like a heavy cut, dude. I was just like,
that's a crazy
soon,
one. Damn.
So
that is a heavy cut. Yeah, dude. All right, so we'll transition a little bit, man, from the last time that we talked. To me, man, just from an outside perspective, not that like we talk on the phone or anything every day, see how we're doing, but for me, with coaching, how are you keeping from our last conversation? You seem a lot happier for sure.
Yeah.
But how are you keeping? We talked about like addiction. I'm an addict too. How have you kept that? How have you, like kind of put that on the chokehold a little bit? Like, what's the difference between our conversation now and what are you doing now to keep that in check?
Yeah, I think definitely it's just been like, I think my worth in the coaching has been helping me a lot. There's been times where I've got clean and I've been like, I've stayed in the gym, but staying in the gym wasn't enough because I ended up almost like relapsing again. But the day I feel like now it's like, I feel like I have so much to offer. It's been helping me kind of like stay level-headed where it's like, okay, now I got to be in the gym. I'm not as selfish. I feel like that selfless part is like helping me out a lot too, is like being there for other people and like not being just so me. I feel like the coaching has been helping a lot, man. Like in a good, positive way.
Yeah,
Huge.
I think part of that too is that you have a responsibility to people now.
Yeah. And I feel like I didn't really have like I was responsible for people, but I didn't take the responsibility serious.
Sure.
You know, it was just selfish. It was a selfish thing,
Sorry about that, Coach.
No worries, my man.
All right. So continuing back to like what was the difference, because we have matured for sure. And I could see it like in your demeanor. Sometimes it's just the nonverbals, You're more involved. And I think, like I was saying, you have the responsibilities now to, to these fighters. And obviously you're a coach, which is pretty much an authority figure, No point in dancing around that. But yeah, man, I think just something bigger than yourself would be, like the definition. Yeah, what else have you been doing, man, to keep those in check? Like other than, the coaching, what about like outside of like the gym?
Outside, man, I've been too much outside, journaling here and there. But yeah, I've just been so damn busy with the gym.
Yeah.
And I'm there from like 9:30 to 7:30, so I'm there all damn day, man.
Yeah.
Outside the gym, I was just journaling here and there, just getting that in check a little bit. My feelings and
when are you the most vulnerable? Sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you off. Let's talk about journaling.
No, I was just saying, just kind of keeping it's been helping too, just how I feel like coaching has been and how new it's been. Just kind of helping. Journaling has been helping, just writing some things down, just my thoughts on that, and it's been helping clear some headspace a little bit.
When are you the most vulnerable, you think? Is it when you're by yourself? You know, because I ask that because everyone, not even addicts like us, everyone has they wake up, they get great sleep, they eat right, they wake up, they're fucking shit. Like, it's just an emotional kind of, we're emotional human beings.
Yeah.
What do you do when that happens? Because I feel like as addicts, that's when it happens.
Yeah.
When you're just like, fuck this. Like, I'm just having a shitty day. And I understand the gym part, right? Like, that's why it's a big part of it. But I mean, you know, do you ever have those moments or?
Honestly, lately it's been so far and few in between. I feel like I don't have it that much anymore, which is like a good sign. I feel like I'm at a place now where I feel like my life is kind of falling into place a little bit. Like I'm not saying I don't have those days where I wake up, because I do have random days where I wake up and everything's great and I'm just like, God, I fucking feel like shit, dude. Like I just feel like something's off. Something's not right. You know, so I do have those days, but definitely not as much. And I would say for the most part, you know, all my days I've been waking up pretty happy because I've made it a conscious effort to like understand nothing is wrong, you know, in life.
Oh, that's
I'm good. I wake up and everything's okay.
Yeah.
I might feel fucked up, but at the end of the day, what's really wrong, you know?
Do you think back when we were talking, and you were sober at that time too, do you think it's we talked about this last time. Do you think it's a big identity issue? Like, because you just said that, you know, like I'm okay. And to me, that means, oh, I'm not that person, you know, that I was. Yeah. It's almost like you're instilling that you're pretty much not an addict.
Right. Yeah. I can see I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't feel like I am. I still obviously feel like I definitely have to check myself. But I don't feel like I'm at that point anymore where it's like I had to wake up every day and tell myself I'm an addict today. You know, because I feel like I'm not today. You know, I don't have to be today.
Yeah.
You know, so that's been helping.
Do you think, I used to do this, not anymore. Maybe, you know, I'm just reminiscing. Do you think like the relationship thing is a big one? Like, not necessarily like the girl's toxic, right? And then she's convincing you to go out and go to nightclubs and do all this stuff. But then you're almost leaning on her for that, you know, like as a crutch instead of kind of like healing yourself.
Right. Yeah. I definitely feel like that's why I feel like I definitely am more aware of who I'm with now. I love that. Who's in my life and who I'm allowing, like my significant other, who I'm allowing to play that part, you know? I feel like, even like just with like my last relationship I was going through all that while dealing with a breakup. So I was just all over the fucking place.
Just like replacing one to another.
It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare going through that, you know? So I finally, like that, it's been nice not, when that breakup subsides, that feeling of, that's gone.
It's like an exhale.
Fuck, dude. It's such a weight off your shoulder, you know? So that's been huge. But I've been definitely more aware of who I'm talking to and making sure and it's not like I want to talk to someone. You don't have to be a fucking clean and 100% sober. You know, if you want to go and have a drink and hang out with your friends, by all means, go ahead.
Right.
You know what I mean? Have fun, you know? It's just not what I want to do. You know?
Yeah.
I'll be here when you get home.
I mean, exactly. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So
even at that, man, like people got their own ways, like you said, right? But even at that, I'm so particular, man. Because the thing is that if that does happen, say that scenario does happen, then they come home like, you know, but that's just me.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just because I think environment's everything.
Yeah. Especially too, I feel like we talked about this last time when like they were drinking and they come home and they're drunk, and how good the sex is when you're both drunk.
Yes, man.
You know what I mean? So that could come home and be a trigger like, fuck, dude, I just want to get drunk and fuck.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? There's nothing better.
Yeah.
Nothing better.
It's that adage of like, that's why they made that song, sex, drugs, and alcohol. They all coincide, dude.
Right.
Seriously.
It's all the same shit.
The part when you're having sex, it's literally in your brain that you're on heroin. That's how good that fucking thing feels.
100%. Fuck yeah, dude.
That is gnarly, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Gnarly. It's wild to think about.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I just want to let you know. I mean, I know like we talked about this isn't like a dark podcast, but knowing that, you know, not even a dark podcast. That was the wrong way to put it. But then last time we went deep into that mode. And it's more of a fun podcast today. But yeah, man, I had a lot of like feedback on that. There's, you know, the thing about this podcast is that more people than I anticipate listen to it. Because that episode is probably one of the things that I get the most. It's that was a wild episode.
Yeah.
Because what they thought of like Oh, what? He was hopped up on the cage? Not that it was like a judge. They just thought, how does that even happen?
Right,
Like, that's like crazy.
Yeah.
Not that it was like a judgment. It was like, some
that's
people
crazy.
was like, that's pretty gangster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, wait, what? He woke up and then he was hopped up and then he went in there. That's just like, how do you even do that?
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah. So you'll get that more people. I was like, dude, yeah, it was, that's why it was all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but so what's been going on recently in your life, man? What are some of your daily routines?
Shit, man. Other than being at the gym.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to save up and get my own spot.
Okay.
That's fucking what I'm really trying to do, man. I haven't had like my own little place ever. I've always been like with a girlfriend or like a roommate. So
yeah, right.
Get my own little like.
Yeah. Like privacy,
dude,
sometimes your social
I feel like
battery's
it's another level of freedom.
That's
you
true,
be out
man.
on your own,
Yeah.
I'm trying to do that, and then man, just being at the gym, man. But no complaints, man. I love my life, and
Yeah. It sure as hell looks like it for sure,
no,
man.
I'm very happy, man, with the way things are going, and I just find a girl now, and be set, dude.
That's it, man.
Fucking girls are the worst out here.
Yeah, I know that's true, man. I mean,
Granted, they're shitty guys, so I can't just say the girls are the worst.
we're probably worse.
dogs,
We're
bro.
probably worse, dude.
We're dogs, dude.
even when I'm on this virtuous kick, like doing this, and I'm like talking highly and shit, I still have that fucking.
Yeah.
It's like, come on,
It's always there, dude. Never gonna leave.
dirty motherfucker, man.
Dirty, bro. Fucking dog, bro.
Yeah, man. So before we end this podcast, man, I guess we'll stick to the topic of like, say, jiu-jitsu, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give me just some of the advice, man. Like, you know what? This is actually a better question. For the people that have been going a while, what do you see that probably this for me too and everyone else over there, but then what do you see is what people need to work on the most? I know people have their different games, very general, but what should people be in general working on? Like Jerry said, the drilling is a big one. The drilling. And I have to agree because with the striking and we talked about last time, since I do striking, right? We do a lot of drill heavy things because, well, if you're getting hit in the face all the time, that's not good.
Right.
That's why we have to drill more. But in jiu-jitsu, you barely see it, man. Like when we drill, it's not even, that's not to say on the program, that's just human nature, I think, in general.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
It's like, I just want to roll, you know what I mean?
drill.
Yeah, what's your thing, man? Like, what do you think people should be doing?
I agree. I think drilling for sure. And I think drilling doesn't have to be super crazy. You don't have to drill anything super high level fancy. I think drilling the basics, like even just striking. How much do you guys just drill like with simple 1-2s, 1, 2, 3?
Oh,
1,
dude.
2, 3 low. Very basic shit.
Yeah.
Until it gets so high level or until it looks super high level. You drill it so much till the basic shit looks so high level.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's the same kind of thing with jiu-jitsu. Like everyone wants to do this fancy shit and they want to get in for inverting and then barabolos and then leg locks and all these entries, but they don't know the basics yet. Like you got to be drilling the basics so much that they look high level. Like look at like Kamzat and Duplessis, right? Like very basic fight, but the shit he did was basic, but he made it look so high level.
Fucking true.
At the highest level.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're fighting for a world title. The most basic shit looked so high level. So I feel like that's like what everyone needs to kind of focus on.
They trim the fat.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And I think, and that goes with like, when me and Jerry show technique, we show so many details, but when you start getting better at drilling and you get better at those details, you can start trimming some of those off to start kind of like fitting your game. And you don't need it's not bad to have all those details, but you can start kind of trimming those off when you start getting better and better and better. You know what I mean?
Yes. I think you got to get there first in order to like realize that. It's like, okay, what I'm doing is kind of useless.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I need to cut that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some people just bang their head against the wall. They'll go for a guard pass 10 times. It's not working, but then they go try it 12 more times. It's just like, if this route isn't working, let's maybe go this way. Or,
yeah. Well, you said that before. It's like practice is just practice until you're intentionally like kind of doing it from what I understand what you're doing. Dude, actually, before we end it, with striking, man, I know that like at times, I definitely saw myself short striking. What do you think about that, man? Like, how do you think your level of striking is, and how do you even approach your subjective subjective to you, how do you approach your level of striking? Like, what do you do to level that up? I'm sure you drill with the pro fighters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what are like the specific nuances of that, man?
My strike, I mean, that's the thing is I never, man,
I consider you're a jits guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I never really like dove in to striking like that.
Yeah.
Which I wish I would have, because even when I hit pads, it's so much fun, dude. And I always think about like, dude, if I would have like spent this much time of doing striking as if I did jiu-jitsu, like, I could be a gangster on the feet.
Striking so fun,
but it is so much fun, like hitting mitts and things like that. But I think for me, like I'm obviously I'm so like wrestler heavy, grappler heavy. Like I kind of have that Marab style. Like I'm looking to just kind of throw something in your face to grab your leg, even if they're not hitting you.
Right.
Get that guard up, fucking go for a takedown or something. That's always how I kind of trained and everything.
Yeah. What is your system when it comes to striking? Like as you learn to be a full, like complete, or I should say more of like trying to better yourself in that aspect. Do you have like a certain way you do things, or
honestly, I just try to like take different parts of like different games.
Yeah.
Honestly, like Brandon Jenkins, I feel like he's helped me so much. Well, like a little bit of fancy shit, but some fancy shit that's like clicked with me. It's not too fancy, but
I mean, it's like unorthodox.
Being a jiu-jitsu guy, it's pretty fucking fancy, But little things from him, like Vince Morales, he showed me a lot of good striking shit. John, obviously. So I just try to like take different things from different people and try to, and not everyone is the same way. I can't make, this guy do the same shit maybe Brandon's doing, or, so I got to kind of mold people to their style.
Yeah.
So I'm just learning like kind of how to get a striking system down. Dude, so I'm kind of just digging into that.
There's so much like that goes into it. Like we said, we drill more, right? And then I know that, like Jerry said, drill. But then, damn, in striking, there's so much. I've been training with like Evan Elder recently, and damn, what I thought I knew. And I didn't want to get a personal coach. Maybe I was just cheap. I don't know, Right. But I was like, I'm taking classes. I don't know if I need it. Oh my God.
Crazy, right?
When they say there are levels. I know it's cliche to say, but there are levels,
dude. And that's why even just digging into like the whole striking thing, it's like I'm a white belt again, but it's so much fun.
It's so much fun, And then what I thought was complex, and look, I don't consider it to be myself. Like I'm not, and admittedly so, right? I'm not a pro fighter. I don't pretend to be. I don't pretend to even be a competitor. I just love to do it because it's so much fun. Like we're talking about, but damn. When he was teaching me going back to cutting the fat, fuck, man. Like, I think the most I got out of it is base. Because I used to be one of those guys, like, maybe it's watching too much boxing or TV, but then it's kind of like, all right, you got to like chill and stuff like that. But then it's like, you're locked in. You have to be, your base, your spine has to be aligned. Like he's gone down to the T.
Right. There's so many different things, man.
Yeah. Just striking. Something like that. And if you tell someone that, you're like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, you could say base and you could say, yeah, don't get tipped over and stuff like that. And this is how you not get tipped over. But he's going over it like it's a fucking science, which it is.
Right.
I'm like, dude, this is crazy. Like, and then when he's demonstrating me, I mean, he likes to just, hit me in my chest hole. It's purple. Not that he means it.
Right,
but it's
right.
I'm like, dude, bro, if I ever face you, I mean, you're there for a reason, I guess, right? You have said training with Joe Schilling and shit. It's like, if I get hit with that too, I'm done. I'm dead. It's done. Just the way his bone structure hits me, it's like, what the fuck?
Right.
So I guess what I'm saying is that what I thought I knew about everything, it's completely gone. It's like, just completely different. That's not the way I was doing things is completely wrong.
I don't know shit.
I
don't know shit, dude. It's crazy. Sorry, crew New's been helping out in the pro team.
That's right.
I did a mitt session with him. I've never done a Thai pad straight Thai session. Oh my god, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What'd you learn, man?
Like, dude, I just never like the I feel like the kicks and the sweeps. And just like tying everything, obviously, like when I've hit mitts, it's always been kind of like boxing into like my wrestling. Never used my kicks too much because like I'm not a striker, but just like learning like throwing, like you said, base, just matching your feet up with your hands has always been like a tough thing for me. I'm always either throwing my hands or I'm throwing a kick, but it's always like kind of tough to kind of, okay, let's get it both.
Well, wait, hold on. What do you mean? Like he wants you to throw your head and then...
Oh, no, I'm just saying no, like just mixing like a 1, 2, 3 low kick. Just like simple shit like that where I'm always just used to either 1, 2, 3 or I'm just throwing a low kick.
Gotcha.
Mixing shit in.
Yeah.
And then just like the elbows and the knees and like base and where your hands got to be on the insides. And
interesting.
it's just like, yeah, crazy. How much like, you think you know about the clinch.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I would have been split up fucking 30 ways till Sunday.
Bro.
With how many, like,
my
elbows.
God.
It was just like crazy shit that I just didn't even think about,
Yeah.
It's just like so cool to learn.
It's so
cool to learn.
Yeah, so cool, man. It's so interesting too, because like say jiu-jitsu, the stand-up is a part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The wrestling part. And then that's its own game.
Right.
And then wrestling, it's its own game. Jiu-jitsu, it's its own, guard is its own game. The clinch is its own game.
Crazy.
It's so gnarly. It's like, that's literally, it could be a sport within its own.
Right. 100%.
Right? Like, it's 100%. Like, dude, that's so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But, all right, coach, man, this has been a good one, man.
Yeah,
like I said, this is, anticipated. I've been wanting you to be here, man, and fuck, we delivered for sure.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for always having me, bro.
Any last words, man? Anything that you want to say?
You're the man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on, dog.
Absolutely, man.
You're the man.
Thank you, coach.
Thanks, bro.
Go.
Oh yeah.
Go.